What is going on YouTube? Welcome and I'm LiboATM. As always, thank you for coming by the channel. We are fresh off the Dead by Daylight live stream about the 5-year anniversary celebration. There's a lot of stuff to unpack. I'm going to try and go through it as quickly as I can without missing anything major. Yeah, it was a really good announcement. A lot of really good things. A couple of concerning things, know what I mean? But no, on the whole, I think it was a really, really good showcase. The guys did a really good job putting it together. The new chapter looks sick, like insanely sick. So enough of me jabbering on about how good it looks, and let's talk about what's in it. Right, so let's start off why everyone's here. So new chapter, Resident Evil chapter, is going to be released on June 15th. And the character confirmation that everyone's been speculating about consists of Nemesis, Leon Kennedy, and Jill Valentine. So hey, pretty close. I think I said in my 3-minute discussion when this came out, I thought it was going to be Leon, Jill, and Mr. X, but it ended up being Nemesis. I think Nemesis is an all-round wiser choice. I just think he's probably got more of a power and ability you can kind of work with, compared to Mr. X, for example. So yeah, they're the 3 characters anyway that are coming out. There's also going to be a new map for the first time in what feels like forever. It's Raccoon City Police Station. It's going to be a primarily indoor map. It's basically reconstructed from the Resident 2 and Resident Evil 3 remakes. So basically you can map out your steps through that map, and it should map to the scale that is in the games. So some of the stuff we've got in there, you've got the main entrance hall, you've got the burning helicopter that Mr. X lifts, you've got the library, the stars hallway, the bathrooms, interrogation room, the police chief's office, and they did say that the entity would do or take its own spin on it. So what I would assume is, because that building seems pretty huge, especially from the clips they were showing, I think what they might do potentially is like split it up into realms, like you've got with like Badham and things like that. You'll have like part A of the Resident Evil map, part B, because otherwise I think that map is going to be massive. I'm not going to get into the perks in this video. I'm going to do a series of videos tomorrow. I'm going to release a survivor video for Jill and Leon and a killer video for Nemesis. The only thing I will cover off, which is pretty cool, is the Nemesis's power, which is called T-Virus. Basically you can use tentacles, like kind of whips from the gameplay I've seen so far. That will allow you to infect survivors similar to Plague, and you will be able to, if they're infected, then use your tentacles to down survivors. To counterplay that, survivors will be allowed to use vaccinations, but there are only a limited amount of them on the map, so you need to be careful when you use them. And the big thing, which is mental, is there's like AI NPC zombies just strolling around the map that you choose when you play Nemesis. And these zombies will interact with people. If they will attack survivors and infect them, or if they're already infected, an attack will take a health state. You and Nemesis, you can interact with the zombies and kill some. Some of them work with your add-ons and things like that, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty major, like, all things considered. Going just on the chapter release alone, like, I could probably do like a full like 15-minute video talking about all that stuff, which is why I'm going to break it down into a couple others, talking about the perks and then some gameplay. So we'll go on to some of the other stuff that came out in the celebration event. So Year 6 roadmap. So we've got the Resi chapter obviously coming out. For Year 6 there is going to be 4 new killers, 5 new survivors, 2 brand new maps. There's going to be new tomes every mid-chapter, and they're going to focus their event on one big Halloween event rather than having several smaller ones throughout the year. So they are still going to have the smaller ones, they're just not probably going to have as much investment and things like that, so they'll probably still do like blood point stuff and maybe items or something, but they're going to focus their attentions on the Halloween event this year. When it comes to the kind of improvement and the betterment of the game, the key things I've picked out here is looking at, like, they qualified it as the 4 pillars. So the one probably what you look at first is the first steps into the fog. So they're going to do a full rework on the tutorial to make it kind of better for newer players coming in, more realistic to what to expect. So they'll be included in the tutorial. They're also going to bring in like bot matches, so you can play against bots and kind of learn how to loop and chase and all that sort of stuff. The other thing they talked about Into the Fog is trying to tackle difficulty they have around queue times. Like obviously, I play UK Standard Time, so if you play during the day, you can get a Survivor match pretty much instantly, but at night it's a nightmare, and then vice versa for Killer. During the day, you can pretty much wait 20 minutes for a game as Killer, but at night it's pretty much instant. So they're looking at like incentives to pull people into the side that's short. I don't know whether that, they didn't go into it in detail to say whether it would be like blood point rewards or things like that. But I think that's a really good idea, because if you log into Dead by Daylight and you jump into quick play and you don't mind playing Killer or Survivor, you'll end up in either, and you could end up with a lot more blood points out of it. Kind of similar to the quick play option they had like way back in the day. Like I know they took it out, but I think it, from what it sounded like, it would be similar to quick play. They're also looking at the thing that's what I said in some of the questionable things. So this is the big questionable thing that came out to it for me, was they are going to automate their ban process. So at the end of every match, you can like give like an unsportsmanship or a trolling or a thumbs up or whatever. And I think basically they're taking away the manual review process from that and making it automated, so that if a player gets several negative reports against them, they can end up banned basically. And I think it's a really dangerous thing to bring into the game, because I'm going to be real with you guys. Just going to be honest. The Dead by Daylight community loves a moan. I don't know how many games I've been in, or watched people on Twitch or stuff like that, and they're like, this is ridiculous, and oh, that's an easy ban, that's an easy report, and the person who's playing actually hasn't done anything wrong. And I'm just concerned that an automated process is going to have salty players or angry players putting in reports against people who've just kind of been better than they are, and then they're going to end up getting banned really for no reason. I'm hoping they have some sort of intervention process that once they hit the quota, they'll then look into the reports maybe and kind of go that way. But they certainly didn't say that word for word on the stream, so that's one that's a bit of a concern for me. And the final one around the kind of first steps into the fog is they're now going to bring in the kind of the multiple languages for the base screens and things like that. So like it's not going to just standard, if your first language is not English, then you'll get to read the news that comes up in your like native language basically. I shouldn't gloss over that. That's a pretty big thing. The fact that it's not been there for 5 years is pretty bad. So the fact that they're bringing it in is good, but it's kind of a bit late to the party. I would have thought you would have had that as kind of like sort of like an accessibility feature very early on. So it's good that they're bringing it in, and it's definitely a positive. It's just it's kind of underwhelming because I feel like it should have already been there, if you know what I mean. Let's have a look. So the next stage, that was the next stage. Sorry, I was getting lost in my own notes there. The next stage, the stuff that I've really picked out to talk about, is the live design, and they've kind of broke that down into 3 main areas. So the first one is killer updates. So going forward, every new character is going to receive standard fixes and balance changes for 2 to 3 months after the release. So you're not going to get a killer that comes out that's massively OP and it takes months and months and months for something to happen about it. It's going to kind of be addressed, due feedback and stats through the next few months, probably taking precedent over kind of reworking or changing the characters that are already in the game. You know what I mean? Like they'll probably be focusing on this going forward to see if it works. And I think that's a really good thing, because there's a lot of times, I think I talked about it previously with the content release schedule video that I did, that like the last 5 killers, if you just look at it like that, Trickster is pretty garbage and could do with a balance update. Deathslinger, Pyramid Head, Twins, Blight are all pretty OP, quite busted at times, particularly Slinger and Twins, and could really do with a balance update. So I think that this new way of working is going to be good for new characters coming into the game and making sure that they're not like ridiculously overpowered or ridiculously bad. Second thing is a new survivor playstyle, I think they named it as. And basically this is going to be like a totem for survivors. They didn't really give anything away on this one, but basically said that they're going to be called boon totems, and they're going to be similar to killer hex totems. So they've not went into a lot what that is, but I think it allows them to kind of do more going forward. I can't even speculate what it would be like. Was it going to be anti-ruin and gens are just going to always progress? I don't know. Maybe they're boon totems to like cancel out certain killer perks. I don't know. I don't know what they could be, but I'm pretty excited about it. And the last one, again, was one that I was kind of concerned about until they kind of explained a bit more. But they're, again, reworking Moris, so they've already done like a massive nerf to Moris. So they're no longer going to be considered as an offering. They've said that, didn't say it's going to be base kit, but it's going to be based around the natural progression of the trial. And there could be like a new objective or playstyle for survivors to achieve to stop killers being able to do a Mori. So for example, if someone's on their last hook and say it's not a totem, but there's something in the trial you need to interact with that kind of breaks the killer's ability to Mori you. If you don't break that, then in theory your last hook you can be moried at any time, basically, I think is the way it's going to work. Again, they didn't give away too many details on it. There's a lot more going to come out about that as they do more work on it. And the final one on here, it wasn't one of their main three, but they did say that there is going to be a rework or a nerf on keys, similar to the stuff that they did with the Moris before. So keys are going to get nerfed or reworked, which is excellent news. Keys, much like Moris, allow people to end trials a lot earlier than they should. It allows teams that are probably on the back foot a free escape when they probably shouldn't get it. I'm not a big fan of keys personally. I don't ever run them myself. If I find them in a chest, I'll use it. But again, I only ever tend to use keys when I've got no other alternative, which means I'm probably on the back end of a down and dirty Charles Dickens book from a killer, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it's a long time coming. I know everyone, to quote Tofu and people in Tofu's jazz, like, what about keys? For like months, and it's eventually happening, so that's good. And the final things is like the community side of the stream, where they kind of touched on how they're going to celebrate. They're going to put all of their calendar stuff on their Twitter. This month it's going to be like the 5-year celebration, Pride Month celebration, things like that. For Pride Month, they're doing a whole Into the Rainbow or hashtag Into the Rainbow initiative, which is really, really cool. There's going to be a new Pride charm for you to like unlock and put on your characters or your hooks and things like that, which is really, really sweet. And they're going to do a lot of things with that around as well, that event around free shards for the first week of the event, I believe, that will amount to the amount of a new character you could buy. And also they're going to do a thing with Shrine of Secrets, which I am not looking forward to, guys. I am very mad about this. But for 2 weeks, they are going to change how they do the Shrine of Secrets, and instead of once a week every Wednesday, they are going to do a new shrine every day for 2 weeks. I honestly do not know if I have the energy or the spirit to rant about perks every day for 2 weeks, but God, I'm going to try. I swear to you guys, I'll try. I can't promise it's going to work, but I will try. So basically, there's going to be a new shrine every day for 2 weeks. The perks on the shrine will be cheaper than normal at 1,500 shards rather than 2,000. And that, as I said, that will run for a 2-week period. So that's going to be part of the Pride Month celebrations as well. For the 5-year anniversary, they're going to bring back the crown pedestals, where you can gather the crown cosmetics, and you can get like new items to spend your blood points on, all based around confetti. So confetti flashlights, confetti toolboxes, confetti medkits, whatever you can think of. So they're the things that will be coming in for the 5-year celebration stuff. Whew, take a breath. That was it. Right, guys, that's been everything. That's everything that they covered in the 5-year celebration. If you didn't get a chance to tune into the broadcast, you've now not missed anything. Hopefully I've done my best to explain things the best I can. As I said, there will be videos coming out on the new Survivor and the new Killer tomorrow. On the channel, I'll be doing the in-depth discussion on their perks, their playstyles, their add-ons, their gameplay, everything you can think of. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. Hopefully, if the PDBQs are good to me. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow for those videos and the new Shrine one. As always, I've been LuboATM. Thank you so much for dropping in. Please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, please share it wherever you can as a new content creator. It helps me out loads with algorithms and directories. I stream a couple of times a week over on Twitch TV /LuboATM. I will be streaming day of release tomorrow. So I will be streaming there, possibly playing the PTB, possibly not. I don't know if I've decided that yet. But come see me over there. Come chat to me about all the new announcements. I would love to speak to each and every one of you. And until I see you next time, guys, peace.